Hey D's fans, we're halfway through the AFLW season and it's time to check in on how things have been tracking. Libby Birch, 4 wins, 1 loss. How have you found the start to the season?
Yeah, I think it's been a fantastic start to the season for us. We unfortunately didn't have a great game against Brisbane, but I think we're building to something pretty special and that's our aim. We want to be growing throughout this entire season. I thought we played a really good game against Adelaide. It was a sound performance from us. But then, unfortunately, the last couple of weeks we've been a little bit inconsistent across quarters. We haven't really put a full game together. And I guess that was shown up with Brisbane. And then I felt like on the weekend we got our game style going and had offence, our contest going and defence all at the same time. So that was really good and something we'll be looking forward to going forward.
You mentioned the Brisbane game. Are those losses important to reset, reflect on what didn't work and then hopefully implement that in the back half of the year?
Yeah, I think it was really, really important for us to learn from that game because, one, they're a quality side and they'll finish in the top part of the ladder. And I think being at our home ground and I guess they dismantled us on the day and I think it was tough conditions, but all in all, we're taking a lot from that game in terms of our ability to continue to be more offensive when we need to, but just to get our contest right as well.
You look at the ladder, there's 5 teams locked in with 4 wins, 1 loss. It's pretty tight at the pointy end and percentage is going to be important. How have you found the nature of the season?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Ben. The fixture at the moment means that you have to, every game's so important. And we say that every year, but it's so true. You've got 10 home and away rounds and you need to absolutely nail each one of them. Or if not, you need to make sure you've got a good percentage behind you as well. So it hasn't changed any other year. It's every game is like a final and you've got to finish as we know, we've got to finish up as high as we can on the ladder to get a home final.
The Carlton game, really positive signs. 8 points for Carlton for the night, 50 for the Ds. You feel like you can take some momentum from that on the offensive and defensive end? Yeah,
absolutely. I think that was sort of, as I said, like that first sound performance across 4 quarters. We didn't have any lapses where we maybe lost contest 1 quarter. We were dominant throughout the entire match and then our whole defensive system across the ground worked. And I think we also learnt how to play in wet conditions as well because we had that the previous week against Brisbane and I don't think we played that as well as what Brisbane did. So to come out in wet conditions again and nail what we needed to was great.
There's been some great individual performances so far this season. Liv Purcell's one I want to mention. She's 7th in the competition for average disposals, 23 per game. She obviously came across from Geelong, had the ACL setback, but she's just firing, isn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. Liv Purcell is just a beast in that midfield and you can see her week in, week out, the consistency to win the footy at the source and then her ability to get hands out, I think is one of her biggest strengths. And she's a real driver of that midfield as well. So, and she keeps everyone accountable, which we love. So I think she's just been a huge performer for us and is only going to get better.
Paxi dominant once again, top 10 for metres gained, inside 50s. But one of your predictions at the start of the year was Eliza West, and she's been fantastic. Contested possessions high, 18 disposals per game. Having the fresh faces in the midfield mixed with Paxi must be nice to see.
Well, yeah, I think Westy and Percy actually work really, really well together in the midfield, particularly on wet weather days. But yeah, Westy's been awesome for us. She's that live wire through there, can add a great amount of energy and burst through the stoppages and just a great clearance player. And Paxi, she's been thrown around a bit this year on the wing, in the midfield, up forward. It's just been really exciting for her and she's loving it.
Some really positive starts. There's a lot to look forward to as well. I'll ask for your player to watch in a second, but for me, Taylor Harris, she's building nicely. She missed that 1 game, obviously with suspension, but coming off a really dangerous sort of night up forward against the Blues. I feel like if she can get herself really powering, she can be one of the best players in this competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, like Talia Gillard's just growing in that fullback position. She's been enormous for us and she adds so much versatility to our group, but also the height is just an absolute blessing because we're playing against some of the best forwards in the comp and she is dominating back at fullback and is really showing her stuff. So definitely watch out for Talia in the next couple of weeks.
Another thing to mention, which has been exciting, has been the milestones that we've been able to celebrate. Taylor Harris has got to her 50 games. We've had Lily Mithen, Loz Pearce, and a few to come. Kate Hoare, Daisy Pearce, Sarah Lampard, all on the horizon for the back end. So it's been nice to be able to celebrate those and it must give the girls a bit of a boost.
Yeah, every week it's been nice to have to see the celebrations of someone's career, and I think it's so nice to reflect on that and how much they've given to this club and to footy in general. So our 50 gamers have been huge.
On the other end, we've had 7 debutants, which is incredibly exciting. One of them that I want to mention won't be playing any more footy this season, Sammy Johnson. How was the reaction from the girls when you found out last week that she is expecting?
We're all like, we're having a baby. And it's not even our baby, but we were just so excited. It was the most amazing news, and we're so happy for Sammy and her partner, and it's just there's nothing better, and we're just thrilled for her. And she had a huge contribution for us in pre-season and obviously the first couple of rounds as well. So it's a shame she won't be out there with us, but wow, how exciting.
Times like that where footy clubs are a great place to be. We've got 5 games left. Fremantle over in Perth, always a challenging one, a hostile environment at Fremantle Oval. Any games in particular you're looking forward to come?
I think Freo will be a great trip over to Perth. It's been a little while since we travelled, and I think that'll be really exciting for us. I think Bulldogs is always a massive...
Your grudge match?
Yeah, I think it always is just a Melbourne Bulldogs is just a grudge match in general, and we've got a lot of history between the two clubs. So I think that'll be a massive match, and that's our home game as well. So that'll be really exciting.
Very good. A lot to look forward to, Lib. Good luck for the rest of the season. Finish strongly and hopefully cement that top 4 finish.
Thanks, Ben.